Skoom. All right. Happy New Year.
Let's go, baby boy.
We are back.
2026.
2026.
All
Bigger
right,
and better
everybody.
than ever.
My name is Big Skoom. Let's get that out the way. I'm Big Skoom,
Yes, sir. It's Tyler John the Don.
and this is
Skoom
Skoom
Speech.
Speech. How's everybody doing today?
What is
Tyler, how are you?
Happy New Year, buddy. I am good. Clean.
We both got some questions queued up. I figured I'll go first, then you.
Yeah, man. Fire away. Let's get into it.
All right. If you could meet the person you needed most at age 12, what kind of person would they need to have been?
Oh, somebody very determined and goal oriented. And then they need to teach me how to do that. How to also be there. That's what I needed. When I was 12, oh, dude, being 12 was so sick. But no, if I had somebody that was goal oriented and actually like how to formulate a plan and then see through to the end of it, I needed that in my life for sure. I
It's
wasn't good
almost
with that until I was probably in my like mid 20s.
it's almost interesting because it's like you can't have really any sort of role model when you're 12 other than like at school, right?
Yeah, right. Because who are we really exposed to, right? Besides people on TV and like famous actors and stuff now that are being paid to act a certain way.
That's what I'm saying. It's like unless it's at school or family. And I mean, I don't know. It's like, is it even possible to have a good role model from television other than a superhero?
Yeah, right. That's a good question. Because what is TV, right? TV is all they're just trying to over exaggerate everything and then make it like what that's not possible on a normal circumstance, right? So the way they're acting and perceiving it and then they're reacting to it, it's all gotta be to a degree showbiz, baby.
Drama. It's got to be drama.
Gotta be dramatic or else it's not entertaining, right? And we're not gonna watch. So
Man,
so does that mean that we only really gravitate towards drama, right? Is that what I'm thinking? I'm evaluate that real quick. Like
I
we're
mean,
only
it's
entertained if there's mad drama, and even if it relates to us in our life, like how we might perceive things, it still is just that. Like we're gravitated to drama as
I
humans.
mean, it goes back to that podcast we did with Roddy Legend, how how we're all willing to watch the same stuff over and over, knowing how it's going to end. Like this drama, we watch drama because it's like, all right, like how am I supposed to act? How like I need to know how to act. I need to know how to be. I need to know how to achieve what I want. So if I watch this drama, then that's just like one step closer to like to that goal.
Yeah, how to act in a situation.
Exactly. How do I gotta act? It's do you feel like you had like that role model, man? I was blessed, dude. I had a grandfather who was so freaking cool. Luckily, when I was 12, I feel like I kind of had the exact kind of role model I need. What about you?
Okay. No, I moved away. So I have a very big family in one state, but we moved to a different state when I was young. And it was only my parents and I had two siblings. And besides that, there was like grandparents I would see on the weekends, but I don't think that they were not much of a guiding role model, right? Like how to act in a certain situation, right? I was a little knucklehead though. I have ADHD and I was always off the wall. So nobody took me serious. Like I'm not gonna take my time to teach this kid anything, dude. He's not gonna listen and he's gonna go off and do his own thing.
Yeah, man. It's
So a little bit was my fault, not so much the role model's fault. It was my fault. Too young, didn't care.
I don't know. I don't know. Did you act out in school or not too much?
Some days, not constantly. Some days I'd have rough days at school, paying attention or not, and then other days I could have been a really good student. So definitely varied.
You know how they're like, oh, if you like seeking attention, then you used to act out at school. I think it's true, man. I used to act out in school, and I always wanted a lot of attention. So, you know what I mean? I think it's a true thing.
But right, but at the same time, you gotta focus on what kind of attention you're attracting, and that's not what we're not cognitive at that age to know. Like, oh, if I do this, this will get this type of attention, and if I do this, it'll get this type of attention. So
Well,
we're just thinking any attention is good attention. Fudge it.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, all right, if I do this, I'll be looked at as cool. If I do this, the girls will like me. If I do this, I look like a nerd. Or
Right, or if I do this, maybe like now I don't know, like I'm somebody who's young, mature, and trustworthy. So parents or guardians could come to me like, "Hey, can you help me with this thing?" And then they know you're not going to crash out and like whatever, right? Destroy it and then go play outside because it's what you can do.
yeah, it's funny.
So,
It's crazy. Like, yeah, we weren't calculated at all at that age.
no way, dude. But it's funny because I got like I have niece and nephews, and they all act a certain way, you know. And I can see bits and pieces of me when I was like 11 or 12, and I'm like, yo, I was a little crash out kid trying to just go have fun, whatever. But then I have, you know, other family members that are really oriented. They want to help and they want to be helpful and things like that. So it definitely depends because to a degree, we're all cognitive to a certain point, right? It's just about
Yeah.
accountability, I think.
You know, a quick little funny thing. I was because I used to act out a lot in school. They had this special, and someone that I used to go to school with reminded me of this. They had a special chair that I used to sit on made where it had like, you know, like a medicine ball.
Mhm.
It was like a chair-sized medicine ball cushion, but it was cut in half.
Okay.
So I would be able to like sit there and like bounce on a, you know, a little medicine ball that was the size of my butt, cut in half. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Hey man, that's that's gotta be adults trying to overcome everything. Like
Dude, I was really bad in school, man. I used to, dude, I was so bad in school, man. I like my parents went around, dude. I wanted attention bad, dude. I would do whatever it took. And like, so on the top right hand corner of the chalkboard, there were chalkboards obviously back then, they'd have my name written. And the student would be the teacher would be talking, doing her job. If I started acting out, she would just walk to the corner, put a little dash next to it. After there was 3 dashes,
you knew
I was
yourself.
allowed to leave the classroom and just go walk. Like just go walk around and like calm down, cool. Like I wouldn't have to. No one knew what was going on in the classroom. No one knew what that meant. Just me and they did.
Yep,
And
yep.
once it got to 3, I could get up and leave the classroom and freaking go walk around, do whatever the heck I wanted, come back when I wanted.
Yeah, dude. I used to get sent to a nurse's office if I was just being too much, they'd be like, just go meet with the nurse. And I don't remember her
Yep.
name, you know. But I knew her by name and they would be like, go see Mrs. Yada Yada. And I was like, all right, man, I'm getting kicked out of class, right? And I gotta go and talk to the nurse, and the nurse is like, so what's going on today? I'm like, oh no, I got too much energy, you know.
It's funny because you ever had crushes on any of your teachers when you were younger?
Yeah, there was
Me
this one
too.
teacher. She was a math teacher, and yeah, but everybody had a crush on her.
Yeah.
It's bad, bro.
All right, let's go to one of my other questions.
Mhm.
I don't know why, but all mine are like kind of when you were younger.
No, that's cool, buddy, because we're gonna get into yeah, no, I'll keep mine for later. Boom! Yeah, hit the young ones now.
What is one belief you used to hold about yourself that you had to outgrow to become who you are now? Yeah,
That's a deep one. And I'm trying to
that's
think too.
super deep.
It's a good question because we all have that. Like at certain points in your life, we're all like, okay, I have to let go of this one thing in order to progress, right? Because this gets into our topic later on that I'm gonna bring up, but this is fire because it's gonna be a good build up because we all have them, and it all starts with habits. And me personally, it's probably realizing the true ability of listening before you reply, and I'm still working on it. But I
Yeah.
think that's one big one that me being a little kid, I'd be like, I know everything, but knowing that I'm a bugger, bro, I don't know nothing. But I'm gonna be sharing and asking mad questions and I wouldn't listen to what anybody's answer was. I could ask a great question, and I wouldn't care what they said. I was like, "Oh, okay," and then run off.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's what it was. It's just the ability to actually listen and take it in. Like, okay, if you're gonna ask a question, calm down and actually get an answer. So it probably just listening overall. That's something I had to outgrow and listen better.
You
What about
know,
you?
well, just about your listening thing, and I've
I'm still
probably
not a
brought
good
this.
listener, bro.
Well, I probably brought it up before, but you know, Jordan Peterson talks about it, and it actually goes back to Plato, where what you want to kind of do in a conversation is you want someone to talk, and then you want that person to be able to summarize what that person just said well enough for the first person who said it to agree that that was a good summary.
I agree. So that's we're gonna communicate.
So like yeah, so that's kind of a good high level way to like it would take a lot of practice because it's not often, right? You can do that where the other person who started would be like, you know what, yeah, I agree, that is exactly what I was trying to say, because we all have to say something, but we can't talk about everything that we want to talk about as we're saying it. We'd never be quiet.
I know. I know. And I agree with that too, so much to a degree too. That's why you and I talk often about why I think learning is so important because if you're me, I'm a hard person to teach. So I'm an easy teacher because it takes me so much to understand something. I
Yeah.
have to understand all of it and why it works this way because I have so many questions. I'm a curious person. Like I want to know why that works that way. But I learn this much and I know I'm a good teacher because I'm a hard person to learn. But then that way I can say, okay, I know how to make this easier to understand so I can teach someone else. And that's why I'm working so hard on listening more because of that. Like, okay,
Why
I
do you think
can
you're hard?
listen.
Why do you think you're like you said that you think you're a hard person to like be taught?
Yeah, I have a hard time learning new things. Like I just don't hold on to knowledge much.
Isn't it funny? Like when people like slow down talking, you can kind of be like, "Oh yeah, no, I get it." Why is that?
I don't know. Like I said, I have a lot of questions. So I don't think it's so much the pace that I'm getting it. I think it's the delivery, not pace, like the words that they use.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's just like whenever someone slows down, I'm just like they'll say the same words, right? But they'll slow down, be like, "Oh yeah, no, but I got you." I don't know. All right, ready for my next question?
Yeah, shoot.
What's a moment in your life where you realized you were living somebody else's script instead of your own?
Nah, I haven't noticed that. Nah, that's one thing I haven't bagged. That's crazy though. But I guess like if you're an employee, I guess it's possible.
Carl Jung, I'm pretty sure he says like if you aren't living someone else's story, no, if you're not living your story, then you're living someone else's story, or something like that.
Yeah, I could agree with that, but still I think it's super it's probably really subjective still. Is the mic too close if I put it right here? Too much
Nah,
now?
buddy.
That's fine.
What? No, I think you're good.
All right, cool. Sorry, still just new office area, still trying to figure out the placement of stuff.
To answer the question I asked you the time before about what was it about what I had to what belief I had to let go to grow.
Yeah, yep. That was a
For
good
me, it
question.
was just that like that people can love you, man. That was tough for me when I was a kid, you know. So when I got older, I was like, you know what? It's just like how you feel on the inside. Like no one can see that crap, man. Nobody knows how you feel and all that. You're people perceive you way different than how you perceive yourself, man.
And isn't it so interesting? I know perspective is crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty nuts.
You know, like I respect it and I appreciate it because perspective is something so necessary.
Yeah.
But man, it's like the fact that if somebody perceives you a certain way, how do you change that? And I think that's where I get tied up. Like, okay, is it a conversation you have with somebody? Is it actions you show them? Or like what is it? Or is it just well, whatever they think in their head is their opinion, and they're allowed to have that and fudge them anyway. And I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I remember we've talked about that in the past, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I try not to think too much about that,
Yep. Me
but
too.
anyways, you had some questions written down, right? Didn't you say?
Yeah, so we can jump into some of mine. One of the first things I wrote down was Happy New Year. It's a new year. It's 2026. We are here. And with 2026 and a new year, as everybody likes to jump on a new me train, Atomic Habits, baby boy. So that's the top 100 book of all time.
I mean, it's a great book. I can tell you what I read about it because as soon as you get into like reading and audiobooks, like that's one of the first ones that pop up. So I listened to it a long time ago. What what I remember is that like right, you know how there's like atoms and everything, right? There's atoms and everything. Everything's made up of molecules and atoms
Right.
on like the molecular level,
Yeah.
obviously. So they talk about how you can change your life on the molecular level of small, minuscule, tiny little habits. Essentially, that's why it's called Atomic Habits.
Yeah. Yep.
And
And they start in like the smallest thing, but everything in life has a habit.
tell me if I'm right or right or not, because I have a pretty trained memory. But again, it's been at least a year since I listened to that. Is that the book where they have this guy who like gets lost? Like he has short term memory. Oh yeah, you got the hard copy.
Yeah, I got the physical book. The camera's all messing up, but see if I can share it. Top 100 book of all time. I don't know. The camera got rid of me completely now. It's bugging. Very good book. You can read this. It's by James Clear.
Hold up.
I got this book for free at work.
Tell me if I'm right, or I don't know if you finished it, but is that the book at the end, like towards the middle-ish, where like this guy has short-term memory loss and he gets lost, like he'll walk outside and like forget how to come back, and then they like use like didn't they use like little mini habits like of to like restore his memory, right, or something like that?
Yeah, small things that he was already accustomed to before and just trying to get that back into because he was injured in the beginning of the book. Remember, he had a baseball bat injury to the head or face or something.
Yep.
Yeah, and that injury kind of set him back, right? Like you said, and he was having problems remembering things. And the best way to remember things that you're forgetting is to incorporate them into something else that's natural, right?
Yep.
So I think that's so great. But um, what one thing I wrote down here was how reasonable habits are,
What you
and
mean? Qualify that.
so I'm trying to remember where my brain was when I wrote these down. So, oh, I'm sorry. My handwriting's terrible. How personal habits are. That's what I wrote down. And now it makes sense that I read it correctly. So, habits are super personable, like personal to us. Your habits are different than my habits, and we wake up and start our day differently. I bet even like the order of brushing our teeth or getting dressed, which one comes first. I love that they're so personal, and that, yeah, I'm glad I wrote that down. How personal habits are because yeah, it's so beautiful and everybody is so different and we're all so unique and our habits is one thing that makes us all unique. That was kind of one thing where my mind was when I was writing this down. And the next thing was how many different habits we as individuals really have. And that's
Yeah.
crazy too. Is it a habit to brush your teeth in the morning or at night, right? Is it a habit to like everything we do is based off of a habit. Like, oh, it doesn't feel right to do this step without doing this step, right? So I think that's freaking awesome.
To interject real quick,
Yeah,
it's just
no, like me, because I popped up.
it's interesting because it's like humans like it's like we can't even survive without habits, and it's interesting how like habitual habit and like habitat, how like obviously habitat is essentially like your dwelling, almost like where like your environment where you live. So it's just there's actually so many words like that where like habitat and habit, like how you can see how they like draw to the same thing. Like for example, I'll give you an example.
Cool.
Atonement, right? You know atonement.
I heard the word, but I gotta pull up a dictionary.
It's like a biblical word. And there's another word that is identical to that means like the same thing almost. Like what it is
So
at
these are
one mint.
synonyms? At one with,
At one mint.
at one meant. Oh, okay.
It's the same letters, it's the same word, atonement and at one mint. So
Oh, I
like,
see what you're saying. The way it's spelled. Yep.
yep, and like habitat, habit. It's just so interesting. There's so many words that like I don't it's like what came first. It's super
Right.
interesting, but
Right. I agree with that. And also, I agree. Your habitat is going to form your habits, right? Like, depending on where you live in the world, it depends on what you might grab for a daily carry, right? Like, if it's only your wallet, phone, and keys, or if it's a wallet, phone, and keys and some form of self protection thing, right? But this could be a variable based off where you live. So that's super cool.
well,
And
it's interesting because it's like the habits, like they say this when you're setting up a room, like you want to think about what the room is for, like first before you like put any furniture in it or whatever. Like, all right, like this is gonna be whatever the relaxing room, and all right, so now we know we're gonna put a couch and bookcase or something. And it's like the habits make the habitat. It's
yep,
like all right, if there's like things that we can do here all the time, like that's what that room is now. It's like so
yep,
interesting.
exactly. And what's also super sick is how often in our life habits change. So, like when you were a little kid, we were talking about being young earlier this episode, and
Yeah.
how all of our habits have changed from there to today, right? Like I no longer bite my fingernails, but a lot of people have that problem, right? Like biting fingernails from like nervous or anxiety or something. And eventually you could grow out of that. But then you pick up a different habit to replace it with, right? Because that's all we do. We pick up
Yeah.
one thing, we say we're going to the gym more often, or we're gonna smoke cigars or cigarettes, right? Like there's gonna be something we're naturally gravitated to.
It's funny because you brought up how we were young again. I used to do this random thing when I was a kid, this random like little habit of eating this certain food. I would take Nutter bars. You know what like Nutty Buddy bars are?
Yeah.
So I would take those, you know, foot by like fruit by what was it? Foot by the foot, fruit by the foot.
Yep.
I would wrap that around a Nutty Buddy bar and I would eat
Yeah.
it.
Oh, that's so gross. You actually did that to enjoy that? That's
Oh, they were
savage.
slamming, dude. They were so good. You would love it. I used to put all my friends at school like, yo, you gotta try this, man. Yeah, we would all be doing that, slamming.
Dang, dude. That's crazy. Y'all are savages. So jumping from habits, the new year, and us used to be kids and all of our little things. Our what I would consider a recent habit of the last 3 years now is smoking cigars, right?
Yeah.
And in 2026, now, like I said, we both been smoking cigars for about 2 or 3 years. And I know that palates change and all of this, and what we gravitate to changes. So in 2026, what are your recent cigars? What's your top three most recent ones in
Top three.
comparison to maybe take out of 2025 and going into 2026? What's something in your humidor you want to kind of get your hands on more of? And what's your favorite cigar right now currently?
All right. Well, not to go on too much of a rant, but I started off like in the deep end of cigars. Like I was just smoking. We you know. Anyways, just smoking really dark and bold cigars.
Yep.
And when I used to like before I really knew anything about cigars, I used to think, oh, this is what a cigar should be. A
Okay.
cigar should, you know, freaking be powerful as heck. So with
Yeah.
all of that said, I started smoking Connecticut's more recently, and I don't know why, but now I'm like, holy crap, this is like so unique. I'm like, dude, how can they make a cigar be a Connecticut? Like just
Yeah.
so mild and so whatever. So with that said, to answer your question, I'm gonna throw the Ashton Classic on there.
Okay.
It's a Connecticut cigar, coffee, light roast, coffee, cream, like almond nuts. And like I said, now when I smoke these, I'm like, now these are like I shouldn't say rare, but I'm just like now I'm like, whoa, like how this is like magical. How do they do this? And then I'm gonna say there's a Padron 1926, not a Maduro, the sun grown. It is similar to the 64, but it's just more. It's like more spice. It's more power, and I think it's like just a little bit more coffee and cocoa. And then third, I have a pretty big cigar collection, but not much of the cigar. I haven't smoked one in a long time, but it's always there, and it's actually the Trinidad like Espiritu #2.
Okay.
I've smoked like 5 of them. I have 11. I like know by the number. I have 11 in my cooler door, and it's I always think about it. It's a special occasion cigar for me. So those 3 for sure. What about you?
That's so sick. I'm happy that you shared. So I agree, when I was starting smoking cigars, it was a lot of Connecticut's, a lot of real light leaves and stuff like that. And I stopped getting much from them. I thought they were bland and boring in my opinion. So I liked the more pepper forward, so habanos and broadleaves.
Yeah.
So, and now going into 2026, I'm trying to collect more toothy cigars. They got the texture on the leaf. I really like that. I know that's going to be a good powerhouse of flavor. So my first one on my list is my favorite. It's CAO Bones,
Yeah.
and that I get cherries out of. It is a broadleaf, and I get cherries and dark flavors, heavy notes. I really enjoy that one. On the lighter leaf wrappers, I would say the Astra VSG, very chocolatey, definitely a lighter wrapper, and just a very
VSG?
enjoyable cigar. Yeah, VSG. Isn't that that's a lighter wrapper, no?
No, no, I wouldn't consider that. No, it's a Sumatra wrapper, but no, it's not light. It's dark wrapper.
Oh, it's a dark color wrapper.
Yeah.
Chocolatey graham cracker. The VSG is a very good cigar. That's definitely in my top 3 list. I would put that. And Padron. Honestly, I had a Padron yesterday or 2 days ago now. I think it was yesterday, and that just after it was like perfectly aged in my humidor when I grabbed it, perfectly aged out of the humidor once I lit it, and that was a really good one. Going into 2026, I'm going to be smoking more Padrones. I don't
Yeah.
remember too much of the leaf on that. You could probably fill in here.
Believe it or not, they actually don't disclose anything about the cigars. They don't tell you where it comes from. Well, they just say the country, but they don't tell you the seed of wrapper that they use. That's how boss they are.
Yeah, right. So that's how you know that's top secret right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, Padron, Asher VSG, and CAO Bones for me is my 3 favorites going into 2026. Those are my current favorites. So that was one question I had written down. And why I like them is just I love the personal what is that called? Like what's it called? I don't know, the personal bond you get with these cigars because they're all different. They're all different, but to you personally, they're romantic or not. If a cigar is just blowing you up and you're getting the spinnies, you got to put it down. You're not going to enjoy that too much. But if you're riding around in your favorite car with your favorite suit on and your favorite stogie, it's just nothing better than that. And I didn't have too much else written down here. Those were the 2 main topics I wanted to hit on. Um,
For cigars, they say, right? It's a lot of it's about the place. Like you already brought up a place. You brought up in your car with the suit
yep,
on.
yeah, it's a
It's
place
like
to choose, I think.
it's interesting how cigars can put you in like an exact time and an exact place. Like if like I don't know if like for example that Padron now, like if you when you think about Padron, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that reminds me when I was doing whatever you did yesterday.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to think if there's any cigars like usually when I think of a cigar, I think of like when I'm at my house, like watching TV.
Yep.
Do you have a place or a specific cigar that puts you somewhere or with someone or anything like that?
No, personally, I can't say I do. I'm really working hard on being present where my feet are. So I try not to let my mind wander too much and like reminisce or whatever. I try to stay focused on where I am and where I want to be. So yeah, I do a lot of reflecting just upon like, okay, I've learned what from this situation, and then pretty much move on pretty quickly. So no specific cigar puts me any place specific. At least not recently.
Yeah.
But I agree, it is a fire thing. Like when you're at the casino with your boys, you're just burning on a nice cigar. That's a vibe.
Yeah, it is. It's just it's a great way to pass time, and I just think it's always about like I don't know. It's always like you would never smoke a cigar if you weren't like at a place that you were like happy. Like you would be
Right,
like, oh, I'll
that's
smoke
true.
later or something.
Yeah, right. That's true. Like, yeah, this is gonna be a special moment, so I'm gonna hold this for a later moment,
Yeah,
kind of thing. I can agree with that. Um, yeah, soon I'm gonna be moving out and relocating, and man, I'm about to be smoking stogies in the crib, man. Can't wait. Right now, I can't do that, so that'll be big different, and I can't wait for that moment. So at then, yeah, I'll probably agree with you more so of yeah, at your house, laying down, watching your favorite thing on TV. I'll probably watching car videos. I'm a big car nerd, so
you
just
know,
enjoying cigars and cars, man.
I don't know if it's because I smoke tobacco, but even cigarettes, like, and I do think cigarettes are gross, even though I smoke cigars. But it's like, I don't know, like back in the day, right? Like you could smoke anywhere, like in restaurants, like blah blah blah.
Yep,
I really wish they would bring that back.
yep. To a degree, right?
Nah, everywhere,
Everywhere. I don't know. I think only
everywhere.
only to a degree because
Why
I
not?
agree. I'm someone that smokes, but I don't like to be eating someplace. I like my food to be real savory. I don't like to be eating someplace where like smoke is like tainting the flavor and all that of what's on your plate. So that's the only thing I don't agree with. But I think at bars and stuff like that, it should be more acceptable. Like, you know, at a pool hall, right? If you're at the billiards, yeah, I mean, I don't see a problem with smoking cigars and cigarettes there, kind of thing. It's a vibe. It's definitely a vibe.
I think absolutely everywhere, and except for schools for children, but
Yeah, in hospitals,
hospitals,
right? Like you gotta be
but literally everywhere. And I don't know, maybe I guess smoke-free restaurants then or something. But I think, and
right,
that's
like certain ones.
I don't know, even that's compromising. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Just,
think
dude,
especially,
imagine sitting down smoking a nice VSG in a steakhouse. Like that's just gotta be so cheap.
I mean, however it was back then, it seemed to be fine back then, right? Like, why change it? Or like I don't know, like
Everybody got soft.
everybody got soft. I think it's freaking great.
I think so too. And I agree with you. Like, oh, like cigarettes, you're not like too big of a fan of or whatever. But low key, like, I've been thinking about picking up a pack of American Spirits. Not that I condone smoking. Anyone who's watching this, I don't condone it at all. But I don't know. Like when I was younger, I'm 29 now, but when I was younger, I would smoke. I would smoke like a pack of yellows of American Spirits a day. And I was doing construction work, right? So we were always just everybody's smoking cigarettes, right? It's part of the trade, right? Like in certain trades, some people just smoke mass cigarettes, and like I was building apartment buildings or hotels,
Yeah.
so I actually worked with some people that home rolled their own cigarettes, and they would bring me packs, and it would be like the freshest freaking cigarette I've ever had. Dude, that was man, so good.
I mean, I probably wouldn't advocate cigarettes as well, but I think tobacco is freaking great, man. Like, in the people who do smoke cigarettes, I think they should enjoy them and be proud of them. Like, they're like, when you think about it, it's like, what's more perfect than a cigarette? As in, like,
Right.
when has anyone ever had a bad one? Like,
That's
they're
true, right? As far as quality control, yeah, it's
yeah, they're just perfect design creature or not creatures, but creations made to do exactly what they're supposed to do every single time. They're, and I don't smoke them, but if I did, I'd be darn proud, and I'd smoke them every freaking way. You couldn't see me without one, and you wouldn't tell me to put it out. I'm
yeah,
smoking.
right.
Sorry.
I like to watch a lot of old like movies and stuff like that where people are like from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they dress
Yeah.
like this all the time and stuff, fedoras and stuff. And they would pull out like cool metal cases for the cigarettes. I thought it was so sick.
Beautiful.
But
They're
either
beautiful.
way, I mean, cigarettes are healthier than vapes. And vapes is like the thing that's taken over the world right now. Everybody's vaping. So
I
it's
don't
like
get it, man.
the reason why that's bad for you and the reason why cigarettes is bad for you is honestly is a large spectrum of, well, now you have vapor in your lungs, and will it ever really actually clear up, get out of your lungs? And it's water moisture, right? So that's what builds pneumonia, right? Like we know we could get sick and die from pneumonia, and pneumonia is moisture in your lungs. So it's like, I don't know. If anything, I would condone going back to cigarettes or cigars, and then that's pretty much all we've got. Like just let tobacco just be that, right? That's my little rant on it.
I mean, it's like I have so much things about vapes, negative things about vapes. Like one, like you said, you insinuated they're not sexy, right? There's nothing
Mm.
sexy about a vape, and and there's just so much. But like I was just thinking, like if you, I don't know, you have a partner, but like let's just get into hypotheticals here. Like, would you rather be with a woman who smoked cigarettes or who used vaping, and you had to choose one or the other?
Oh man. Yeah, I guess I would go back to the OG way and just gotta smoke a cigarette, man. You gotta go outside and freaking dwell in the weather and all this, you know. Because I vaped for a long time. I vaped for many years, as you know. And it's like as soon as I put it down and I was done with it, that was like, you know what? That was honestly the best thing I did because the the addiction aspect of vaping is so much more because it's so easy to it's non-scent, so you're not affecting anyone else really, and all of this. So it's just like when you wake up and you rip the vape, you know you have a problem. That's at least where I started drawing my line. Was like, you know what? As soon as I wake up and I'm puffing this vape, I know I have an issue. And it's too easy, right? Like at least with a cigar, you got to go outside or someplace else. You got to relocate yourself, put in that amount of effort to go and enjoy the cigar, right? You got to cut it. It takes a while to light it sometimes. You got all these factors, but that's part of the romance behind that. Like just picking up this electric battery and blowing vapor everywhere is like a little obnoxious if you really think about
I mean, I have so many things against vaping. Like one, it's like the hive mind, right? It's like it's like the thing that everyone's doing. Like that's one reason for people I think who don't vape to despise it.
it.
It's
Yeah.
like do these people like do anything that they want to do in their life, or they just do what everybody else is doing? Like
Yeah. It's so
that,
easy to follow the trends.
yeah, that's why I think like the cigarette smoker, like and people our age, like the younger generations, there like are no cigarette smokers in our like generations us and below. It's only like people older than us.
Yep, and now they all just vape, and dude, they're gonna end up. Dude, I want to know what they're gonna be in their 40s. They're all gonna be on CPAP machines, oxygen tanks.
I mean, I don't know. They say I've seen like one ad where it's like, oh, formaldehydes and vaping, but like, isn't formaldehydes in cigarettes too? I'm like pretty sure. So it's like,
Yeah,
is it really that more dangerous? Like, I feel like that's just like a hit piece and hit, buzzwords to try to make vaping like demonized and all bad. But like, is vaping really that bad? I mean, don't we really not know yet?
yeah, true. I agree with that. I think about that all the time. Like, we really don't know the side effects of a long term because what is it? It's been within what the last 10, maybe 15 years of vaping really been around. Remember when people had those big battery packs? They could blow huge clouds. It was like really obnoxious. They hit it. It was like,
Yep.
and it sounded like popcorn. Yo, you were freaking popping popcorn in that thing, and then it's like blow a huge cloud, fudge up the whole room. It was so obnoxious.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm like what's the word? I'm like I don't know if it's arrogance or what, but like anytime I see someone vaping, I'm like, oh my god, you're disgusting. I don't know why. Like if it was a cigarette, I'd be like, oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah, right.
Get some.
Like at least you're sticking to the OG part of it, right? That's why I think cigars and
Exactly.
cigarettes are just so much different of their own category. Because like you're still being unique. Like everybody's doing this one thing, and you're still doing the original things. Like our forefathers founded America on cigars, and there was all of that. So It's crazy. I remember well, I don't personally remember, but I've seen them when I see cigarette commercials, and then I saw when they were getting rid of cigarettes and wanting to like dial it back, but oh, these things can happen to you, and then they were pushing all the cancer and everything through commercial propaganda and all this, and yeah, it's been so strange. I don't really see vape commercials. I know Andrew Tate and his brother was in a vape commercial in England back when they were younger on a commercial, like they did a first commercial, and they were selling electronic vapes. And it's funny because now they only smoke cigars. Like you won't catch those boys with a vape, right? Get out of here. So I just think it's so interesting of like the way times come and change, and it goes back to these habits and trends and things like that. Like what your habits are is going to be based upon the community that you live in, right? If you and I created our own community and it was only acceptable to smoke cigars or cigarettes, then our community would be different than everyone else in like a different, neighboring town or whatever, because the habits are based off of your habitat.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's like like those nicotine pouches are taking off too,
Yeah, the Zen. Yep.
and just all the other Zen type brands. Well, like, what do you think about those? I used to use those for I think I used them for about 4 to 6 months, and then I ended up stopping. What do you think about those?
I've never tried them. A lot of people at my work, they do those Zens. Personally, I don't really understand it. I mean, I think the more habits you can break as a human, the better you are, the stronger you are. Um, so all of those byproducts of nicotine and all this stuff is just that, right? It's all selling the same product, just packaged in a different material. Like it's comparing one coffee to the other. It's like, is coffee good for you or bad for you now is a subjective thing. And I agree the same thing with the Zins or anything else. It's like, well, how often are you partaking in this, right? A habit can become good or bad depending on how much you're indulging in that habit.
Then I got another question, and then maybe we'll wrap up. They say creatine's good for the brain. Have you heard how they say that now?
I've heard that, and I didn't think that was a more recent thing. I thought that was something that's been around for a while. I thought that creatine releases certain things in your brain that can be beneficial. But personally, my study on it is very thin. I've only ever really heard from others.
I've never done any personal research either, but I don't know. For some reason, I just don't buy that. I just don't believe it. I mean, I don't really believe anything that when they say things like that.
Yeah.
Do you think it's true? Well, I guess.
No, I think personally, the best thing you could do for yourself is drink a lot of natural juices and water, personally, and try to stay away from sodas and energy drinks the best you can. And if I had to advocate for a younger generation of, oh man, try to drink Ghost or over Monster or Monster over Red Bull. It's all it's all chemicals and different packaging, like I said with the Zen, in my opinion. And I I think just staying fresh and clean inside and out is the best thing you could try to do. And I fall off every now and then. If I'm tired at work, I'll pick up an energy drink, but I definitely don't buy them on a daily basis or even a weekly basis. It can be very far between. And I'm trying to stay focused on off of soda too. Like, nah, I don't need soda. I'll take a juice, right? Like, or even a tea. Drink tea. Tea has got to be better than sodas, right? And we don't know which packaged and all those, but tea can't be too difficult. You got a tea bag and boiled water, and then it's stored in a plastic container forever. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. People, it's really interesting, but I'm not a big fan of soda at all. I've been drinking water more or less. That's it for a long time now.
yeah, a long time.
But the creatine and it being, I think the word is, well, I'm pretty sure the word's like a nootropic or whatever, which is like supposed to be good for the brain. Like they call uh, nicotine a nootropic. But I think that's just like to market it, just to sell it more. It's like the same when they called like berries and stuff like superfoods. Like, what's super about it? Oh, like it sounds good and it's good for marketing. Like it's a
I think
superfood. Buy it, buy it. Superfood.
I think something's considered a superfood if it has three or more vitamins, but don't quote me on that. But I think
No, I mean that could be true, but nope, it's a buzzword. But I think it's just for
it's
marketing.
I
Buy
agree.
buy buy strawberries. They're a superfood. What's super about it? I don't know. It just makes them sell more. It makes us sell more of them. They're superfoods. Buy it.
Yeah. Or if you call something rare in comparison to super rare.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, buy 2 of them because this one's super rare.
That's basically what they do. Buy these. They're superfoods. They're super. They're good for you. Buy them. Market buzzword. Buy. Sell.
Yep. And I was thinking that same thing. I was at work the other day, and I spend a lot of time in my head at work because I walk around, knock on people's doors, tell everybody the same sales pitch, and help people out. And I was thinking that same thing was how bad these drinks and everything like that really are for you. And they're all so new. It's kind of similar to the studies of the vaping and stuff like that. Like it hasn't been around long enough for us to really know if it's a positive or a negative thing for us. You know, what are we doing? Feeding these to lab rats and seeing what they do in 6 months? But what's that tell us for about our insides in 4 years, right? Like even a longer term. And yeah, I agree. It's all just buzzwords. They're like, why is Ghost different than what's that other really colorful one? They got Ghost and C4,
Yeah.
right? So those two are both very colorful cans, very aesthetically pleasing. And then you got the OG ones of like Monster and Red Bull that have been around for at least the last 20 years, probably. And what's the difference in all 3 of these? And what the heck are we putting in them? Like, if I look at that can, I don't know what the heck's in it. Dude, it's all some scientific term, and I'm like, where did you get this? It almost sounds dangerous.
I've never had a Ghost. Have you had a Ghost?
No.
I've had one C4. I've never had a Celsius, which I know are huge. I think those are like basically like seltzered water and energy drinks, right?
I don't know. It's gross. The last time I had one, it was really chalky, and I didn't finish it. I took a sip of it with someone.
Celsius?
Yeah, I took a sip of someone else's. I wouldn't buy my own.
Yeah, I thought they're supposed to be like seltzer, like sparkling water type vibes. I think, right?
Words, baby. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like
that's like just saying, just so somehow a Celsius is better for you than a Monster. I don't know.
I mean,
don't believe it.
I think it's like the White Claws and the what are the other ones? What's the other one? What's the other one? Huh?
Twisted Teas.
No, that's the same as White Claws, but like just how those started springing up. Like I don't know if it's because it's perceived as healthy or what. That's probably what it is. Well, it's just like the younger generations, man. Once the younger generations, they do try to be more healthy. So the White Claws popped up. What's that other one? I can't believe I can't think of it. It's like just like a White Claw, but it's just a different name. Ah, well, that popped up. Celsius popped up. And it's like, all right, get your alcohol, be healthy. It's sparkling. Get your freaking energy. It's sparkling. It's seltzered.
Oh yeah. You know what drink has that 0 alcohol stuff is Heineken, and it's like they pride themselves on like it's the best flavored non-alcoholic drink. It's like if you're doing all of that, then what the heck? I don't know.
I've actually thought about getting some non-alcoholic beers because I don't drink anymore. And I'm a huge, massive Guinness fan. I think Guinness is the nectar of the gods. And they have a non-alcoholic Guinness, which I haven't tried, but every once in a while I'm like, maybe I want to try that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just try really hard. If I'm going to have a habit, my habit's just going to be trying to eat and drink as healthy as I can. And all the other buzz stuff that if I read the can and there's words on there that I can't, I don't know. If I need a Google AI agent, then I'm probably not going to buy that. That's just kind of like I'm close to being 30 now, and I'm just trying to be really healthy going into my 40s. And the way to really think about that is, thinking about today and tomorrow.
Yeah. The other last thing I was thinking, because we were talking about just health and how people try to slip it in any way they can for to sell more. Well, now there's tons of that actually. Like I just drove by today and they were putting protein in coffee at one of the gas station little famous little chain things. Yeah. They're like Premier Protein 10 grams in our coffee. It's like making it do 10 grams of freaking, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, but where I was going with that is like tequila. Everyone's like, oh yeah, like tequila's super healthy. It's 100% agave, blah blah blah. I don't know how true that is. I don't know anything about it, but have you heard that too?
Nah, nope. But I don't hang around people that drink or anything like that. So that kind of conversation just wouldn't come up naturally around me too much.
Yeah, but
Um,
to end it, what do you think about the literally 10 grams
of
of
protein,
protein in the coffee at the
I fudge
store?
with it as long. So I've tried this, and all right, I have a catastrophe story of what happened when I tried to make protein coffee at home. It was hot coffee, right? So when you heat any form of liquid substance and then you like shake it or stir it rapidly, it combusts. So I took coffee and I took a scoop of my protein powder and I put it in there and I put it in a blender. And yeah, that's what happened. I made a big mess. So if they can find out how to properly blend the coffee with the protein powder and it's flavorful but not overly chalky and all this, I'd buy it. I would buy that for sure. But I was gonna say at the same time, why are they selling this to just a natural audience, right? Like regular traffic, right? Because a lot of people that might buy that, they're not going to the gym. They're not burning off this protein. They're not going to be using this protein in a positive way, the way that somebody that like goes to the gym and actually trains or practices and uses the protein through their body in a proper way. I definitely wouldn't just add protein to my coffee to go on about a leisure Tuesday, right? Like I'm going to work, I'm gonna go home, eat dinner, and go to bed, right? Like no, like you're doing that if you're either on the way or leaving the gym. But I don't think that mixing caffeine and protein is a bad thing. I think that we need to find out how to do that clean. If we can figure out how to cleanly do that, I'm an advocate for sure. It's just it is very hard to do because, like I said, stirring rapidly very hot objects, it's gonna be a volcanic eruption, and I promise. I've tried it and I'll do it again.
Yeah, I did not. Yeah, I mean, I'll take that lesson to bed because I did not know that at all. I mean, I don't drink coffee anymore, but I didn't know that.
Hey, I'm sipping coffee right now.
Yes,
Actually,
sir.
my last little power through the evening here as it's starting to get dark outside on the East Coast.
On the East Coast, baby. Well, I appreciate having you on. My name is Big Skoom, everybody.
It's been Tyler John the Don.
Yes, sir. And we are Skoom Speech.